Gump Report. You never know what's going to happen on this channel. Sometimes I want to act like a total obliterating idiot. And just in case anybody's seen this for the first time, hiya. This is the Gump Report. And it's under the premise of what Forrest Gump once said in his show, his movie, his life story. Life is like a bunch of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And that's what you get here with the Gump Report. You never know what you're going to get. I usually try to stay focused on what the topic is, but if I'm in the mood, I'm going to go off the rails and just do whatever I'm going to do and just act like a nut, like I just did. So what do we have in this, as you can see from the title, if I wasn't rambling just now? Jey Uso has an issue. Jey Uso cannot say his catchphrase anymore. And I'm going like, what? Because I did check, because originally, guys, this is what I was going to do originally. I was going to do a Sting video. But after thinking about it, I think it would be better when I do it at Revolution 2024, which is supposedly his last match. And I'll do it after the match and see how he performs and everything, instead of doing one now with Ric Flair there, which is stated that he's under a contract, but then they're saying that Rick is paying us, which is bullshit. If you're under contract with AEW, getting this, saying, and that's Tony Khan saying we're not paying him, he's paying us. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Tony Khan's just trying to gloss over it. But the point is, I decided to wait until after his final match, then I'll make a video afterward, because doing it now we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how the match is going to go. We don't know how Rick is going to be. We don't know nothing. So I decided to leave it. But then I had to think, what was I going to do next? Now, Alex just did a video on Selena Deeps and checking out her Instagram, talking about what happened to her. And that's another video I'm doing after this. I'm literally going to film them back to back. But I thought I'd do this one because as I was trying to find more information on Selena Deeps, which no one is reporting on, no one, as far as I can tell so far, because he released his video yesterday, and there is no additional information or even information on Selena Deeps having her issue, which I'll explain in the video I'm going to film after this. But as I was looking, I went to NoDQ.com, which I'll leave the connection below to the article I read about Jey Uso. The trademark cannot be done. The catchphrase cannot be done because of Cassidy Scott Kaufman. Or Hoffman. I think his name is Hoffman. Now, he is a pro wrestler in Virginia. He works out of Virginia. I don't know what promotion is there. But he owns it. He owns the right to the word and the spelling YEET. So, as you guys, you must know how WWE works. They always want all trademarks on whatever they do, that unless you bring it in with you, which they cannot trademark it. Let's, like what happened with Adam Copeland with the music, You Think You Know Him. He got that music from a friend of his who is part of an actual band. I can't remember the band. I'm not really big on heavy metal or basically rock a lot. But he got it from his friend. So they cannot trade that music. They cannot trademark it. Cult of Personality cannot be trademarked because CM Punk owns it. Because he's the only one that can use it. He can go anywhere he wants. He owns Cult of Personality. He owns the right to use it wherever he wants to go. That's where he got it from. But in this situation, what WWE would normally do, if I know correctly how they work, if they try to trademark something and they find that it's owned by somebody else, they would try to buy the rights from that person. So what do we got here? Either one or two things. One, counting on who is the one who's primarily controlling this situation. If it is not Triple H, it's either Vince McMahon, because he's still executive chairman. Because no matter what anybody says, it's an executive position now where a trademark wants to be filed, and it can't be because someone owned the actual catchphrase or the spelling of it. That might fall on his table. It may not fall onto Triple H because he's head of creative. Does not mean he's part of marketing. Triple H is not part of marketing, so it would fall to another department, and it may go up all the way to a Vince McMahon. You never know. So Vince might be the one who's directly responsible trying to get the YEET trademark and for pretty much the statement of the right to be able to use it. So the question is, what happened? Was it that Vince says, you know what, forget this shit. We just merged. I don't want to spend more money. And told Triple H, tell Jey, can't use it anymore. Tell marketing, they can't use it anymore. Or, which would be the wisest thing, because they were moving a lot of merch with that word YEET on the shirt. Because as anybody had seen, any video that had been uploaded onto YouTube has now got the blur on it. Because wherever he was wearing before, the last time, before the situation finally stated he couldn't do anything, the shirt is now blurred. You could see it for yourself in no DQ that the image of it is blurred out. You cannot use it anymore. So he's using an older shirt. The main event Jey Uso shirt, I believe. But possibly, Vince said, nope, just get rid of it. Don't do it. We're not going to spend more money. We just merged. TKO WWE will not be spending money right now this year because we just merged in September. Not happening. Or someone approached Kaufman and said, look, we're currently using the shirt. We're currently using the word and the name. We want to buy the rights from you. And either he said, no, I want to keep my own rights, or pay me this fucking amount of money. And if it's a big amount of money, more than what WWE is willing to fork out, they're not going to pay for it. So, there you go. There's the problem. Either he didn't want to sell because he believed this is my catchphrase, this is my word, either because it's for my family or for my people, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not selling it. Or he said, this is the amount I want. And WWE is willing to give this, and he wants this. See how big it is. This, and he wants this. They'll say, fuck you, we're going home, we're just going to stop using the word and stop selling the merchandise. And that would be it. But honestly, this is where it's going to get a little messy. Because even though, as far as I can tell, they're not going to have a problem too much with the word YEET. Because they'll probably still let people say it without, as you guys know, when they start cursing, they literally mute the words. Mute it. And that's going to be a big issue. If they're required to mute anytime people start saying YEET, we're not going to have fun watching WWE Raw or SmackDown, wherever Jey is. And whoever else once used it. Because if they got to censor YEET, this is going to be annoying. I'm going to tell you right now, this will be fucking annoying if they got to mute any of the fans saying YEET. If they got to do that, that's going to fucking suck. Let's make it clear. It will suck so much ass. But there's a very strong possibility that could happen because WWE does not own the right. And if it's going to be seen on nation and international television, and every time the word is used, that Kaufman, and that's Cassidy Kaufman, if he has to be compensated every time when someone uses the word YEET on television without his permission, they're going to censor it. They will blur out the word to make sure that no one ever hears it, even though they'll hear it on national and international television. They're going to blur it out, no matter what. Period. It will be blurred out. They got a 8 to 10 second delay, and that's how they usually do the shows. Even if it's live, there's got to be an 8 to 10 second delay just in case something bad happens. They can blurt it out and censor it. That's the way they work. So if that's also part of the copyright problems they have, the trademark problems, they're going to censor anyone who says YEET. They can't show no shirts that says YEET. Anyone who has a sign that says YEET and it's in front of the camera, they're going to probably try and censor that afterwards because they can't do it live. It takes a couple of minutes to actually do the blur censor. That's easily. So when they put it up on WWE.com or YouTube, it'll already be blurred out. That's the way it's going to work. But literally, it's just sad to see because it got over so well. Let's make it clear. YEET is over. It's one of those words that just rolls off the tongue. It's just something that identifies. And now WWE cannot use it. And that means Jey has now just lost a little bit of what made him the way he was. Using the word YEET got him over big. When it came to Uzi, and remember, one of the things that got him over is pretty much Sami Zayn saying during the time when he was just angry at Sami, didn't trust Sami, and Sami says, you're not Uzi enough. And even Roman Reigns is going, starts laughing. It got over for Jey. And Jey at this point, who just had one hell of a great match on Raw versus Seth Rollins, which I did watch. I just didn't want to do a review of it, guys. I didn't want to. Let me give it to you like this. The show was good, but there was no CM Punk. And after what happened last week, where a lot of people thought his promo was very anemic, which it was fine. He's trying to be politically correct because of what's been going on. But still, not many people like what he did. You see this show, you're wondering CM Punk's going to show up, and now he's supposedly going to SmackDown this week, getting a possible lucrative contract, which we know he won't. He'll go to Raw. But the point is, we wanted to see Punk today. That's yesterday, Sunday. No, it's Saturday. Why am I saying Saturday and Sunday? But we didn't see him on Raw. And you know the reason why? I should say this right here, right now. I looked up what the card is for Final Resolution for Impact Wrestling. I cannot do it. At least not on the 9th. I'll have to do it on the 10th. So I will be doing Deadline, but then I will do Final Resolution Sunday, not Saturday. Because the card is not much there. Even though they got Zack Sabre Jr. in a match, a tag match against Motor City Machine Guns and Josh Alexander. It's not a singles match. I would rather see him go up against Speedball Mike Bailey than that, but they're not doing it. That's the only surprise they'll have there. So for me personally, as much as I love Impact and I want to do Final Resolution before Deadline, I'm swapping it. I will do Deadline, then Final Resolution, unless something changes, because I will still check. That's the way it's going to be. But here, it just hurts, going back to Jey Uso. I feel it hurts him a little bit. And it's going to be a hassle for us as fans, because if they start muting when anybody starts yelling yeet every time when he comes out doing his music going like this, it's going to be a hassle. Now, if Kaufman didn't want to sell it because it means something to him, more power to him. But it was because he's saying, well, I want $10 million. You can fork that money out. Give me my money. And they say, we're willing to give you 2. And he said, no, give me 10. And they say, no. You know as well as I do. You guys, let's be honest here. If he's asking for $10 million or $5 million, and they didn't even want to give him more than $1 or $2 million, where they easily would make that money up within a few months, that just shows how shallow TKO WWE is. Stupid. I would have bought the rights if it was let's say it was $10 million that he was asking for. If he's saying, no, I'm not selling it because it means something to me. It's something that me, my grandfather, somebody, or my father, whoever is, if it wasn't sentimental because it was in his family, that's something entirely different. So I would respect that. He won't get no money. He's doing it only because it means something in his family. Or his people that say he's Native American, even though he looks white. You could have Native American whites. But let's say that word is important in his family or his culture. If he's asking for $10 million, let's say $5 or $10 million, and WWE didn't want to go past $1 million, that shows how stupid they are. Because they can make up $10 million within a few months. They can make $10 million off of that shirt within a few months. They get the damn money back. And that's just stupid. But this is just me. Hope you enjoyed this Gump Report. You never know what you're going to get. Peace.